I say Trump.
I don't swear in public very well, but we have to Trump. Please don't tell my children that I just did that.
Hey, I just want to correct what a couple of my colleagues said. They used that word in front of Donald Trump's name. What they meant to say, Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
The people of this country are being violated because all of our privacy is being taken up by Elon Musk and Trump, and we don't know what all they have on us. We don't know.
People and advancing progress.
Just like the sun coming out, we're going to shine that sun because it's the best disinfectant on what Musk and his minions are doing. President Musk, because we are not going to stand for this kind of betrayal. It is a betrayal of our veterans.
We are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people and advancing progress.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking.
We have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed.
Address the roadway safety crisis, including the critical funding that would accelerate the development, and this is an area I've written to you about, of the use of female dummies in crash testing. This will start to fight the gender inequity among vehicle safety and crash victims.
Johnny, what can you make out of this?
This? Well, I could make a cap, or a brooch, a pterodactyl.
I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
All this money to go to illegal immigrants. Anything that you all pass is not genuine.
You have not protected the people of Chicago from invasion.
He wants to pour a $40 million line of credit and put the city in even more debt. It's your fault that because you gave half the money to illegals.
What is it, Doctor? What's going on?
I'm not sure. Haven't seen anything like this since the Anita Bryant concert.
We've got to get through to Chicago. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
When that much money disappears, it's usually because somebody broke some laws somewhere. But if we don't look, if we don't ask, if we don't uncover it and make it all public, we'll never find out.
We are here to fight back.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're joining us live here at Tyrant Slayer Studios, a bit behind schedule, but here nevertheless to bring you your news just the way you like it. We're going to start off here with a Trump interview featuring Elon Musk and yours truly, Sean Hannity. You can expect some commentary from me throughout. I do hope you enjoy what I bring to you this evening. Stay tuned. Ooh, evidently we got some audio issues here. Stand by, please. Terrible, terrible issues here. Technical difficulties. Terrible. Not sure what the problem is with the interview, but
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking.
we're going to do our best to get through it here. Stand by.
Important thing, because the president will.
All right,
make
we
these
got that
executive
worked out.
orders,
Let's
which are
try
very
this again.
sensible and good for the country.
Bear with me. Tyrant Slayer Studios, new equipment, new to this sort of live event, but we'll do our best. We'll work through it. This is the second sort of show. It's not our official launch, but we're getting there. Stand by.
Start with this. So he's working for free with DOGE. He's kind of put a lot of his life on hold. And you sued Twitter a number of years ago. You just made him pay you $10 million?
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Well, I sued from long before he had it.
Yeah.
And I mean, they really did a number on me, you know. And I sued, and they had to pay. They paid $10 million settlement.
You're okay with that?
I mean, I left it up to the lawyers and you know the team running Twitter. So I said, you guys do what you think is the right. It makes sense.
I think it's funny.
I think it's a very low. I was looking to get much more money than that.
So you gave him a discount in the lawsuit?
He got a he got a big discount. I don't think he even knows about it.
He's become one of your, if you read and believe the media, he's become one of your best friends. He's working for free for you.
Well, I love the president. I just want to be clear about that.
You don't care about that?
I know. I love the president.
You love the president?
I think President Trump is a good man, and he's, you know.
It's nice the way he said that. You know, there's something nice about it.
It really is. You know, because I mean, the president's been so unfairly attacked in the media. It's really outrageous, and I've at this point spent a lot of time with the president, and not once have I seen him do something that was mean or cruel or wrong. Not once.
You know, I've known him for 30 years.
Yeah.
And I've never seen anybody take as much as he's taken.
Yeah.
And we've discussed this, and I'm like, how do you deal with it?
Did I have a choice?
Well, you would say that to me. I'm like, what am I going to do? Worry about it? And, you know, and then culminating in 2 assassination attempts, which resulted in your endorsement.
Well, I was going to do it anyway, but that was
it.
Precipitating event. Yeah.
That speeded it up a little bit.
Yeah.
The day of the assassination.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It sped it up, but I was going to do it anyway.
Mr. President, with your indulgence, I'm convinced that people only know a little bit about Elon. I don't think they know everything about Elon, because as I studied and prepared for this interview, I learned a lot about you that I didn't know. I think people will think about Tesla. Democrats are demonizing you and trying to make the country hate you. I just want people to understand you a little bit better, and the person that you've gotten to know and have now put a lot of trust in.
Sure.
And, you know, just let's go over a little bit of your bio, starting with PayPal and how you became involved in Tesla and SpaceX and Neuralink and all these.
Take a while. I mean, you know, I think the way to think of me is like I'm a technologist, and I try to make technologies that improve the world and make life
show
better.
your shirt.
Yeah, and that's why my T-shirt says tech support, because I'm here to provide the president with technology support. And now that may seem like, well, is that a silly thing? But actually, it's a very important thing. God! We'll make these executive orders, which are very sensible and good for the country, but then they don't get implemented. If you take, for example, all the funding for the migrant hotels, the president issued an executive order. Hey, we need to stop taking taxpayer money and paying for luxury hotels for illegal immigrants, which makes no sense. Like, so obviously, people do not want their tax dollars going to fund high-end hotels for illegals.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking.
We went in there and we're like, this is in violation of the presidential executive order. It needs to stop. So what we're doing here is one of the biggest functions of the DOGE team is just making sure that the presidential executive orders are actually carried out. And this is, I just want to point out, this is a very important thing because the president is the elected representative of the people. So he's representing the will of the people. And if the bureaucracy is fighting the will of the people and preventing the president from implementing what the people want, then what we live in is a bureaucracy and not a democracy.
Both aware, you have to be keenly aware that the media and the punditry class, not that, I think you've proven they have no power anymore because they threw everything they had at you and they didn't win. And that was, the New York Times, Washington Post, 3 networks, every late night comedy show, 2 cable channels. They threw everything, lawfare, weaponization.
Sure.
And now I see they want you two to start, they want a divorce. They want you two to start hating each other. And they try, President Elon Musk, for example. You do know that they're doing that to you.
All right, now listen to me. Remember your brakes and switches. Get ready to flare it out.
Told me, he said, they're trying to drive us apart. I said, absolutely. They said, we have breaking news. Donald Trump has ceded control of the presidency to Elon Musk. President Musk will be attending a cabinet meeting tonight at 8 o'clock. And I...
Got him! Got him!
Good at it, I'd never be president. Because I think nobody in history has ever gotten more bad publicity than me. I could do the greatest things. I get 98% bad publicity. I could do, outside of you and a few of your very good friends, it's like the craziest thing. But you know what I have learned, Elon? The people are smart. They get it.
Yeah, they do, actually.
They get it. They really see what's happening.
Yes.
And at the end of this interview, what I would like is I want people to know the relationship and know more about you. What is the relationship, Mr. President?
Well, I respect him. I've always respected him. I never knew that he was right on certain things, and I'm usually pretty good at this stuff. He did Starlink. He did things that were so advanced and nobody knew what the hell they were. I can tell you in North Carolina, they had no communication. They were wiped out. Those people were, they had rivers in between. Land that never saw water, all of a sudden it was a river and a vicious, like rapids. People were dying all over. They had no communication. They said, do you know Elon Musk? They didn't really know I knew him. I said, yeah. He said, could you get Starlink? It's like the first time I ever heard of it. I said, what's Starlink? A communication system that's unbelievable.
I have it.
Yeah, and he said, I called him and I said, listen, they really need it. And he got like thousands of units of this communication, and it saved a lot of lives. He got it immediately, and you can't get it. I mean, you have to wait a long time to get it.
What is it, Doctor? What's going on? I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything like this since the Anita Brad concert.
We watched the rocket ships, and we watch Tesla. I think, something that had an effect on me was when I saw the rocket ship come back and get grabbed, like you grab a beautiful little baby. You grab your baby. It just
hug the rocket.
I've never seen
everyone needs a hug, including rockets.
And he said, you can't really have a rocket program if you're going to dump $1 billion into the ocean every time you fly. You have to save it.
Right.
And he saved it. First time that I've ever seen that done. And nobody else can do it. If you look at the U.S., Russia, or China, they can't do it. And they won't be able to do it for a long time. He has the technology. So you learn I wanted somebody really smart to work with me in terms of the country, a very important aspect. Because, I mean, he doesn't talk about it. He's actually a very good businessman. And when he talks about the executive orders, and this is probably true for all presidents, you write an executive order and you think it's done. You send it out. It doesn't get done. It doesn't get implemented. They don't implement it. Maybe they're from the last administration, and they are in some cases. You try and get them out as fast as you can. But as soon as he said that, I said, you know, that's interesting. You write a beautiful executive, and you sign it, and you assume it's going to be done, but it's not. What he does is he takes it, and with his 100 geniuses, he's got some very brilliant young people working for him that dress much worse than him, actually.
Yeah,
they dress in just T-shirts. You wouldn't know they have 180 IQ.
Wait a minute. So he's your tech support.
No, he is.
I actually literally am tech support.
Than that. Yeah.
I literally am tech support, though. But
he gets it done. He's a leader.
Yeah.
He really is. He gets it done. You get a lot of tech people, and you have people that are good with tech, but he gets it done. You know, I said in real estate, you had guys that would draw beautiful renderings of a building, and they'd draw the rendering. It would be great. And you say, great. When are you starting?
Johnny, what can you make out of this?
This? Well, I can make a cap, or a brooch, a pterodactyl.
Just get it done. That was in real estate. Same thing in this. He gets it done. So when he said that, he said, you know, when you sign these executive orders, a lot of them don't get done, and maybe the most important ones. And he would take that executive order that I'd sign, and he would have those people go to whatever agency it was. When are you doing it? Get it done, get it done. And some guy that maybe didn't want to do it, all of a sudden.
Speaking of executive orders, after this interview, we will be touching base on a very powerful moment in which Donald Trump signs the executive order disclosing the classified documents associated with the assassination of the late and great John Fitzgerald Kennedy, Robert Francis Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Modified, you'd never be able to break them. So the damage that Biden has done to this country, and it's not even Biden, it's the people that circled him in the Oval Office, okay? But the damage they did to this country, in terms of, let's say, open borders, you know, there's so many things, but open borders where millions of people poured into our country, and hundreds of thousands of those people are criminals. They're murderers, they're drug dealers, they're gang members, they're people from prisons from all over the world.
I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Kristi Noem is doing an unbelievable job, and he wanted her. He said, she's so tough. And I said, I don't think of her as that way. You know, she's very nice. He said, no, she's so tough. And she is. I see with the horses, she's riding the horse. Let's go. She's great. But the team we have is really unbelievable. But those executive orders, I sign them, and now they get passed on to him and his group and other people, and they're all getting done. We're getting them done.
Let me go back a little bit to your background, because it's beyond impressive. You were the chief engineer, for example. You were an early believer in Tesla. You became the CEO, and then the chief engineer, which was phenomenal. SpaceX, same thing, which is unbelievable. I mean, you were the first private company to send astronauts successfully into space, first private company to send astronauts into orbit.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep.
He's going to go into orbit soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's going to go to Mars. He's
Starlink.
At some point.
Huh?
Yeah.
Is in over.
I mean, they always ask me, like, do you want to die on Mars? And I say, well, yes, but not on impact.
Starlink is in 100 countries. This is going to be hard. I feel like I'm interviewing two brothers here.
You go ahead.
Star Shield, which could be used for national defense.
Yeah, it is already being used for national defense.
Then you have what is it called? Optimus, a part of Tesla.
The robot, yeah.
A robotic arm. Then you have an AI arm. And then you have something that really fascinated me, and it's called Neuralink.
Yes.
You might help the blind to see, and people with spinal cord injuries, that they can recover, where in the past, how close is that becoming a success?
Neuralink, we've implanted Neuralink in 3 patients so far who are quadriplegics, and it allows them to directly control their phone and computer just using their mind, just by thinking. product telepathy. So you control your computer and phone just by thinking, and it's possible to actually control the computer and phone faster than someone who has working hands. Then the next step would be to add a second Neuralink implant past the point where the neurons are damaged so that somebody can walk again and functionality restored.
And you like Bobby, right?
I like Bobby, actually, yeah. I think I supported Bobby Kennedy. I think he's unfairly maligned as someone who is anti-science, but I think he isn't. He just wants to question the science, which is the essence of the science. The scientific method, fundamentally, is about always questioning the science.
Got him!
And we learned a lot with the Twitter files. And that just then raises a question. You're the richest man in the world. You may not like that part.
Yeah.
You're pretty competitive.
It's neither here nor there.
I've known you a long time. But
that's why.
But he's on your team. Well, that's true. He can't top that.
He's good. You know, I wanted to find somebody smarter than him. I searched all over. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. You
really tried hard.
I couldn't find anyone smarter, right? So we had it for the country.
But this is the thing.
We settled on this.
Well, thanks for having me.
So
I'm just trying to be useful.
But this is the interesting. This is where we are as a society, and I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to do it anyway. You're doing all of these things. DOGE. Nobody at DOGE gets paid a penny, correct?
Well, actually, some people are federal employees.
Some are, okay.
Yeah,
they're helping.
But it's fair to say that the software engineers at DOGE could be earning millions of dollars a year, and instead of earning a small fraction of that as federal employees.
Okay, so
and they're very committed people.
So
yes.
You're committed to helping the blind see, people with spinal cord injuries recover.
Yes.
You're committed to getting to Mars. You're committed to rescue. You're going to help rescue next month 2 astronauts that I think were abandoned. They dispute that in an interview.
At the president's request or instruction, we are accelerating the return of the astronauts, which was postponed kind of to a ridiculous degree.
They got left in space.
They've been there. They were supposed to be there 8 days. They're there almost 300.
Biden.
They were yes, they were left up there for political reasons, which is not good.
Okay, it's not good. Now, if I had the weight of the pressure of doing that successfully on my shoulders, I think I'd be, But when we spoke before we did this interview, you are very confident. You think this will be a successful mission.
Well, we don't want to be complacent, but we have brought astronauts back from the space station many times before, and always with success. Mm-hmm. So, as long as we're not complacent.
When are you going to launch?
I think it's about 4 weeks to bring them back.
About 4 weeks?
Yeah.
And
we're being extremely cautious. Yeah.
You now have the go-ahead.
Yes. Well, thanks to you.
They didn't have the go-ahead with Biden.
What's that?
He was going to leave him in space. I think he was going to leave him in space.
Well, it's like when we were growing up, Lost in Space.
Yeah, he didn't want the publicity.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Unbelievable. And so I want to echo something that the president said and then ask an overarching question. So people get hit with Hurricane Helene. They have no communication with the outside world. You come to the rescue. You donated that, I believe?
Yes.
Okay. You donated to the people.
He saved a lot of lives in North Carolina. He saved a lot of lives.
And California after the wild.
Good evening to Mr. John Smith, 2046. Thanks for joining us. Meme. Thanks for being here. And Political Patterns. Thanks for your participation in the live chat. We sincerely appreciate any form of support you can yield here.
Liberals would love the fact that you have the biggest electric vehicle company in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be adored by the left,
Yeah, not anymore.
Less so these days.
He killed that, huh?
I mean, less so.
I really did it.
Well, I mean, this whole sort of like, they call it like Trump Derangement Syndrome. And you don't realize how real this is until you can't reason with people. So like I was at a friend's birthday party in LA, just a birthday dinner, and it was like a nice, quiet dinner, and everyone was behaving normally. And I happened to mention, this is before the election, like a month or two before, I happened to mention the president's name. And it was like they got shot with a dart in the jugular that contained like methamphetamine and rabies, okay? And they're like, wow! And I'm like, what is wrong? Guys, like, you can't have like a normal conversation. Yeah. And it's like they become completely irrational.
He has no idea, but if you're friends with him, you pay a price. You know, it's like I walk in a restaurant in New York and it's like half the room it's daggers and they want to.
No, the eye daggers level is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like I had like some invitation because I got invited to like basically a big sort of damn event like that was, but I received the invitation like the beginning of last year, and I still attended even after I'd endorsed President Trump. And I didn't realize how profoundly that would affect, how I was received. I mean, I walk into the room and I'm getting just the dirty looks from everyone. Like, if looks could kill, I would have been dead several times over.
But that was not before Trump.
Ashes on the floor.
Before Trump, that never happened, right?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us here at Tyrant Slayer Studios. Tomorrow we got a big show planned. I was going to try for a 3-hour segment, but time will not permit me to do so. You can probably catch me for a couple hours tomorrow between the hours of 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be diving into great detail about what's been happening here in Connecticut, the corrupt racketeering judiciary, towns like and cities like Windham County, Willimantic, New London, New Britain, Norwich, their police departments, just the waste, fraud, and abuse here at staggering levels, and what's happening on a national level, how it all relates to Connecticut. But right now, just to wrap things up and finish quickly touching base, we're going to dive into the executive order that Donald Trump signed, declassifying the classified documents associated with the assassination of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, Robert Francis Kennedy, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Hope you enjoy this as much as I have.
We have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed. Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
Democrats in a complete panic out here in Connecticut.
All this money to go to illegal immigrants. Anything that you all pass is not genuine.
You have not protected the people of Chicago from invasion.
He wants to pour a $40 million line of credit and put the city in even more debt. It's your fault that because you gave half the money to illegals.
We've got to get through to Chicago.
Off of our money, or put a mouse down. You mustard moo.
I say Trump!
I don't swear in public very well, but we have to Trump. Please don't tell my children that I just did that.
Hey, I just want to correct what a couple of my colleagues said. They used that word in front of Donald Trump's name. What they meant to say, Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
We are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people and advancing progress.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking.
When that much money disappears, it's usually because somebody broke some laws somewhere.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
But if we don't look, if we don't ask, if we don't uncover it and make it all public, we'll never find out.
The people of this country are being violated because all of our privacy is being taken up by Elon Musk and Trump and we don't know what all they have on us. We don't know.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
What is it, Doctor? What's going on? I'm not sure. Haven't seen anything like this since the Anita Bryant concert.
And with that, I think that's going to do it for me this late evening. I bid to you all a farewell from the cutting edge of news, technology, information, and philosophy here on Tyrant Slayer Studios. Better than EIB, inspired by the great Dr. Michael Savage himself. Shout out to the late Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Jack, and Robert Kennedy. We are looking forward, very much looking forward to fingering through all of these new revelations that will certainly be disclosed within these recently declassified documents. Once again, if you're just joining us,
we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years.
Oh, yeah.
For decades.
Oh, yeah.
And everything will be revealed.
Okay.
Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
So tomorrow, we've got a big day planned. We'll give you a couple hours in the afternoon, and we'll do our best to give you some entertaining news. You'll have to bear with me as I work through ironing out the live time wrinkles. As you've seen in today's little update here, I had audio issues right off the rip. But that's what we do here by the edge of our seat. Take it all in stride. And with that said, once again, I bid to you farewell on February the 19th, 5 minutes to 12 a.m., approaching the 20th, 2025. Great year of our Lord. All right, people, take care.